Hello children, today we will start with the lesson Anak Krakatoa. This lesson is about volcanoes. Children, what are volcanoes? A volcano is an opening in the earth's crust through which lava, volcanic ash and gases escape. This lesson is about a volcano and its name is Anak Krakatoa. Let us read and understand this lesson. Krakatoa is an island in the Sunda Strait between Java and Sumatra in Indonesia. It is known for its volcano which erupts regularly. What is a volcano? A volcano is a crack or opening in the Earth's crust. There is hot molten rock near the Earth's center. Sometimes it rises to the surface of the Earth through such a crack or opening and flows out. When this happens, we say that the volcano has erupted. Erupted means become active and eject lava, ash and gases. This passage tells us what is a volcano and what happens when a volcano erupts. This passage tells us about an island, Krakatoa, which is located in the Sunda Strait between Java and Sumatra in Indonesia. A volcanic eruption happens on a tremendous scale. Thick dark clouds of smoke rise high from the opening and spread in the sky. Big glowing burning chunks of rock and red hot lava are thrown out of the crack in the earth. Very hot mud and ash are also thrown out. A great volcanic eruption can change the landforms in an area. Volcanoes are popularly classified into three categories. Active volcanoes. Active volcanoes erupt regularly. Dormant volcanoes. Dormant means temporarily inactive or in a deep sleep. We find information about the eruptions of these volcanoes in history, but now they are quiet. Meanings: tremendous, very great in amount, scale or intensity. Chunks, a thick solid piece of something. Temporarily, for a limited period of time. Dormant, temporarily inactive. So this passage tells us what happens when a volcano erupts. So what happens, children? Smoke, burning pieces of rocks and red hot lava and ash come out of the opening. In this passage, two types of volcanoes are given. Active volcano that erupt regularly and dormant volcanoes which are currently inactive but at some point of time they have been active. Extinct volcanoes. Geographers can guess by looking at the rock formation that they used to erupt long ago, but there is no record of it in history. An extinct volcano is unlikely to erupt again. Krakatoa is an active volcano. It has erupted many times, causing great disasters. The worst of the eruptions took place in August 1883. The volcano erupted with such a loud boom that it was heard more than 3,500 kilometers away in Australia. It is believed to be the loudest sound that man has ever heard. The island, which was a volcanic mountain, collapsed on itself. The dust that was thrown up in the eruption rose to about 80 kilometers in the sky. It spread in the sky around the world and later settled in different parts of the world thousands of kilometers away. Extinct means no longer in existence. Disasters, a sudden accident or a natural catastrophe that causes great damage or loss of life. Collapsed, having fallen down or given away. In this passage, third type of volcano is given, and this type is extinct volcanoes. In the passage, it says that this kind of volcano might not erupt again. Here in this passage, they have given details about an eruption that took place in 1883. It was a powerful eruption that could be heard even in Australia. Because of the eruption, the mountain fell down on itself and a lot of dust was thrown in the sky, which went on to settle in different parts of the world, far away from the island. So children, which is this volcano which erupted? It is Krakatoa. The eruption caused giant waves or tsunamis in the sea near the island. About 165 villages and towns were destroyed due to the eruption and the tsunamis. The eruption destroyed two-thirds of the island of Krakatoa. It collapsed beneath the surface of the sea, creating a huge underwater volcanic crater or hole. The hole was more than 6 kilometers wide. Then in 1927, a plume of smoke rose out of the water on the crater. It was followed by another eruption. A few days later, a new island volcano broke water. How did it happen? When the underwater volcano threw up ash and rock, it was quickly taken away by the seawater. But then the lava started flowing out of the crater faster. This volcanic material was not all taken away by the waves, and a new mountain began to grow. It kept growing and was soon seen above the water. Thus a new island grew from the old island of Krakatoa. It was named Anak Krakatoa, or the child of Krakatoa. Anak Krakatoa is still an active volcano. Eruptions have begun again since 1994. It lies quiet for a few days and then again there are eruptions, with more lava flowing out. The island is still growing bigger. Since 1950, the island has grown at an average rate of 5 inches per week. Children, so what are some of the effects of the volcanic eruption? It caused tsunamis. What are tsunamis? They are high, long sea wave caused by an earthquake or other disturbance. Because of the tsunami and the eruption, 165 villages and towns were destroyed. Two-thirds of the island fell down in the sea, creating a huge underwater hole. In the year 1927, again there was an eruption. This time it was inside the sea, or it was underwater. This led to a creation of a new island. Initially, when the underwater volcano burst, the ash and rock was taken away by the sea. But as the lava kept on flowing, a new mountain began to grow. This island was called Anak Krakatoa, or Child of Krakatoa. Anak Krakatoa is an active volcano, and the eruptions have begun again. From which year, children? From the year 1994. Because of the continuous eruptions, the island is growing bigger and has grown at an average of 5 inches per week. A part of the old island, known as Krakatoa, is still visible in the sea, a little away from the new arrival. Anak Krakatoa. After Krakatoa's eruption in 1883, all the surrounding islands and coasts were covered with hot ash. No life remained. When a scientist visited it in 1884, he found just one spider there. But the living world on Krakatoa was not lost and gone forever. The wind and the sea brought seeds of plants to the island. Some seeds came with the birds who flew over the island. Plants and animals that live in the sea came to the coast again. Small land animals like ants, termites, or even rats and lizards traveled to the island on plants floating in the sea. One edge of the island was soon teeming with plants and animals. Surrounding means all round a particular place or thing. Floating, suspended in water or air. Teeming, be full of. The old island that had collapsed, what was the name of this island, children? Yes, you are right, it was Krakatoa. Now, part of this island can still be seen, and it is called Krakatoa. The eruption of 1883 was so powerful that it wiped out life or living beings from the surrounding coast and islands. In the year 1884, only one spider was found. However, after some years, because of the wind, sea, and birds, seeds of plants reached this island. Plants and animals in the sea came back to the island. Ants, termites, rats, lizards, all these animals, insects, they all came back to the island slowly. It was like a laboratory where scientists can see how living things slowly develop in an area. Today, scientists can observe this also in a part of Anak Krakatoa, which does not get covered with volcanic ash. The western coast of Java was greatly affected by Krakatoa's eruption. Very few human beings were left there, but the wild animals and plants in that area grew in number again. In fact, the wildlife grew naturally since there were no human beings to interfere with it. There was no one there to cut the trees or kill the animals. So this region became rich in wildlife. Interfere means prevent a process or activity from continuing or being carried out properly. Now scientists observed this island to understand how living things develop. The western coast of Java was badly affected. Very few human beings were left. And this gave the wildlife, that is the animals and plants, to grow without any humans to interrupt or interfere in their growth. There were no humans left to cut trees or to kill animals. And that is why this region became rich in wildlife. Even the island Anak Krakatoa, the areas which were not covered by volcanic ash, even here scientists have observed that living things have started growing. Children, with this we complete explanation for this lesson. Thank you for listening. Goodbye and take care.